Welcome to Hack Your Fear of HyFlex Adoption. I am Jean Samuel. Often, when we're implementing something new at our institutions, we feel like we're alone. There's no one to support us. We need training wheels. Teaching in the HyFlex environment can be a daunting task, especially when it comes to managing workload and time. However, with the right mindset and strategies, you can overcome your workload fears and manage your time effectively. Behavioral science is rich with techniques and strategies that can help you optimize your course development workload management practices. For this session, I've created a shared Padlet for you. Padlet is a collaborative sticky note application in which you can share links, images, text, and videos. Please use this Padlet to post your HyFlex adoption fears or fears that teachers have shared with you. 5 common categories are supplied. You may create your own categories as needed. I'm going to skip my bio just to save time for this session. I don't know about you, but when I go to a conference, if I learn one new thing or get one new idea or can make one new good connection, I feel like it's been worthwhile. I hope today, out of this session, you will get at least one or all of these benefits. The COVID-19 pandemic created a need for educators to adjust their teaching strategies to accommodate multiple delivery modes. It accelerated the use of HyFlex. It offers students the choice in attending classes in person or remotely based on their preferences or circumstances. Implementing a HyFlex course can be challenging. Faculty understand that HyFlex adoption can lead to improved student engagement and student satisfaction. However, many faculty fear adopting HyFlex. I've offered much training that focuses on knowledge and skill acquisition. This time, I wanted to try a macro approach. I wanted to reflect on the general underlying barriers to adopting new technology and teaching strategies. It doesn't matter what the it is. When the it is new, faculty are generally slow to adopt. If we can understand why we hesitate or give up easily, we're more likely to try to change our thinking and behaviors and lower the adoption process stress. An appropriate quote to frame this conversation is that things do not change, we change. The quote is attributed to the American naturalist, essayist, poet, and philosopher Henry David Thoreau. These are the outcomes we should cover during this session. By the end of the session, you should be able to define fear and its impact on HyFlex adoption. You should be able to identify common adoption fears. You will be able to discuss behavioral strategies for overcoming fear and adopting HyFlex learning. Many educators face significant challenges and fears when it comes to designing and delivering courses in multiple modes. Fear of change, fear of technology, fear of lack of student engagement, and fear of workload are common barriers preventing instructors from embracing the potential of HyFlex learning. Today we'll explore 3 behavioral strategies that educators can use to overcome the fears and effectively develop and deliver HyFlex courses. We'll cover how to find time, how to maximize productivity, and how to develop a growth mindset. This session is part of a workshop I'm developing that includes learning exercises that you can practice and sustain new habits. What is fear and its impact on HyFlex adoption? Fear is an emotion that arises in response to perceived threats or danger. It can be triggered by a wide range of factors, including real or imagined risks, uncertainty, insecurity, or past experiences. It can manifest in many ways, including anxiety, nervousness, and even panic. In the context of HyFlex adoption, fear may arise in individuals who are hesitant about using technology or who are uncertain about their ability to navigate new learning environments. The impact of fear on HyFlex adoption can be significant. Fear can lead to resistance to change, which can result in lower adoption rates in HyFlex models. Addressing and mitigating fear is essential for successful HyFlex adoption. To succeed, you need to understand 3 important elements of changing behavior. Readiness to change. Ask yourself, do you have the resources and knowledge for making lasting change successfully? Barriers to change. Is there anything preventing you from changing? Likelihood of relapse. What might trigger a return to a former behavior? In the context of HyFlex adoption, relapse is staying with or returning to familiar, comfortable teaching strategies. There are 3 buckets or categories for strategies to overcome fear. They're pedagogical, technological, and behavioral. These strategies are the focus of this session. It's about finding time, maximizing productivity, adopting a growth mindset, and seeking professional development opportunities. These are personal strategies for overcoming the fear of HyFlex adoption. These strategies are behavioral. Now that the foundation has been set, let's proceed with the topic. You know you want to implement HyFlex. You have high motivation. How hard can it be? The early adopters have been doing it for over 15 years. It seemed like everybody was using it during the pandemic. Or were they? More importantly, why did some who stop using HyFlex? At the start of the session, I asked you to identify the specific fears that you may have about HyFlex adoption, perhaps the fear of the unknown, or fear of failure, or fear of losing control. Now I ask you to think about and identify what impact has this fear had on your teaching and your ability to adapt to new technologies and pedagogical approaches. Some strategies to overcome the fear of the unknown include the following. Educate yourself. Start with what you know. Begin by incorporating elements of HyFlex that align with your existing learning practices. This will help in reducing the fear of the unknown and build confidence in your ability to implement HyFlex. Create a support network. Test and experiment. Take the time to test and experiment with different HyFlex approaches and technologies in a low-stakes environment. For example, practice sessions or a small group of students. This can help in building familiarity and reducing the fear of the unknown. Seek feedback and embrace flexibility. I appreciate this quote attributed to Lao Tzu. Time is a created thing. To say I don't have time is like saying I don't want to. Here are some strategies for finding time. Identify your most productive hours. Everyone has times of day when they're most alert and productive. For some it's early morning, for others it's late at night. Identify the times when you're most productive and use those hours to tackle your most challenging tasks. Eliminate distractions. When you're working on a challenging task, even minor distractions can derail your focus and make it difficult to stay on track. Identify your most common distractions and take steps to eliminate them. For example, turn off your phone or close unnecessary browser tabs. Delegate tasks that take up too much of your time. Prioritize tasks. Break down tasks into smaller chunks. Large tasks can feel overwhelming and make it difficult to get started. Instead of focusing on the whole task, break it into smaller, more manageable chunks. This can make it easier for you to start and to build momentum. When I was a computer tech, we used to use the go, no-go decision strategy. For example, a quick way to prioritize is to ask yourself what matters, what's important, and of them, what can I control? Here's a prioritization activity you can perform. Try this activity. Draw 4 quadrants on a piece of paper or on your computer. Label them can control, matters, cannot control, does not matter. Now create a list of all your tasks. Enter the tasks in the appropriate quadrant. The items that matter and that you can control are the ones you should focus on. The next few slides will briefly cover overcoming procrastination, task bundling, and habit stacking. Procrastination can be a common issue when adopting new technologies or teaching methodologies such as HyFlex. Be sure to set clear goals. Setting clear, specific, and achievable goals can help break down the larger task of adopting HyFlex into smaller, more manageable pieces. This can help overcome procrastination and keep you motivated. Create a timeline. Develop a timeline or a schedule that outlines the steps involving HyFlex and the timeline for completing each step. A timeline can help you stay focused, ensure that you're on track, and help overcome procrastination. Similar to clear goals, breaking down tasks into smaller steps and scheduling regular checkpoints can help you to avoid procrastination. Instead of putting off the entire process, you can focus on completing smaller, more manageable tasks. Prioritize your tasks. Prioritization can help identify the most important tasks to complete first. This helps in making progress towards the adoption of HyFlex, rather than getting bogged down in tasks that may not be important. Consider using rewards to motivate yourself to complete the tasks related to HyFlex adoption. Rewards can range from something as simple as taking a break or treating yourself to something you enjoy after completing a task. Setting challenges, tracking progress, and using rewards are gamification strategies. Find someone to hold you accountable for the tasks related to the HyFlex adoption. This can be a colleague, a mentor, or a supervisor who can check in on your progress and provide feedback and support. Reflect on your progress towards adopting HyFlex. Celebrate your successes along the way. This can help in maintaining motivation and overcoming procrastination. Take time to investigate the Pomodoro technique. It's a time management technique. Task bundling is a behavioral strategy that involves grouping multiple small tasks into a single, larger task. It's a strategy that can help you save time and reduce stress by minimizing the number of times that you need to switch between different tasks. This can be distracting and time-consuming. For example, you can bundle together the tasks of creating a lesson, creating an assessment, creating online materials for a lesson into a single, larger task that can be completed in one sitting. Similarly, creating for all modalities at the same time while you're focusing on one outcome is a very efficient way to use your time. Habit stacking has been shown to increase the likelihood of forming new habits and reducing fear and anxiety associated with change. Habit stacking is a behavioral strategy that involves stacking a new habit onto an existing habit. This strategy can help you develop new habits that support your HyFlex course development and delivery goals. It doesn't require much additional effort or willpower. For example, you can stack the habit of reviewing student feedback onto an existing habit of checking your email. Every time you check your email, you can spend some time reviewing feedback from the students. This will help you establish a routine and make it easier to remember to complete a new task. The format of habit stacking is, when I do blank, I will also do blank. Fill in the blanks. Developing a growth mindset. Developing a growth mindset can be an essential strategy for teachers when adopting HyFlex for overcoming workload fears. Embrace challenges and see them as opportunities for growth. Learn from your mistakes and failures. Use them as stepping stones to success. Developing a growth mindset involves reframing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, embracing failure as a necessary step towards success, and seeking feedback as a means of improvement. Research has shown that individuals with a growth mindset are more resilient, adaptable, and successful in facing new challenges and overcoming fear and anxiety. You can Google for quizzes to determine your mindset. The following are some strategies you can use to develop a growth mindset. Embrace challenges. Approach HyFlex implementation as a challenge, an opportunity to grow and learn. Rather than focusing on potential roadblocks, see them as opportunities to find creative solutions. Reflect regularly on your teaching practices and impact on HyFlex on student learning. Consider what worked well and what can be improved, and act based on these insights. View mistakes as opportunities to learn and improve. Mistakes are a natural part of the learning process. Embrace them as opportunities for growth and improvement rather than sources of failure and shame. Seek feedback from colleagues, instructional designers, students of your HyFlex implementation. Use this feedback to identify areas where you can improve or celebrate successes. Emphasize the importance of effort and hard work in achieving success, rather than innate ability and talent. Recognize that learning and growth require dedication, persistence, and a willingness to try new approaches. Develop a community of learners such as peer learning group. You can share ideas, resources, and feedback. Being part of a learning community can help in fostering a growth mindset and provide a supportive environment for HyFlex implementation. My sister is a fan of Mary Engelbreit. My mom once sent me a card by Mary that said, "Life is a chair of bullies." The following is Mary Engelbreit's paraphrase of Maya Angelou's famous quote. "If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it." Positivity is turning negative thoughts into positive. Try this exercise. Write down your fears and negative thoughts about HyFlex course development and delivery. Now reframe them as opportunities for growth and learning. Some examples of turning negative talk into positive would be, for example, "I've never done this before," can become, "It's an opportunity to learn something new," or "It's too complicated." It can become, "I'll tackle it from a different angle." "I don't have the resources," can become, "Necessity is the mother of invention." "I'm not going to get any better." It can become, "I'll give it another try." For today's homework, take a few minutes to identify a fear or barrier that you're facing regarding HyFlex course development or delivery. Write it down. Use the strategies outlined today. Brainstorm at least 3 possible solutions or ways that you can address this fear or barrier. Select one strategy today to try this week. Reflect on the result after employing the strategy. In conclusion, HyFlex course delivery and development can be daunting for teachers who may feel overwhelmed by the task of creating and delivering content in different modes. However, by using behavioral strategies such as task bundling, habit stacking, and developing a growth mindset, teachers can overcome this fear and approach HyFlex design and delivery. You can create new habits for better time management and for optimizing your productivity. As we continue to navigate the challenges and opportunities of HyFlex learning, it's essential for you to remember that change is a process that requires patience, perseverance, and a growth mindset.